The Oscars are coming up in less than a month, so I'll be doing a couple videos related to the Academy Awards these next few weeks. Today's video revolves around none other than Dwayne Johnson, one of the highest paid and most popular actors in Hollywood currently. However, as far as quality goes when it comes to his films, I don't think anyone would say he's made an incredible movie yet. Has he made multiple money-making blockbusters? Absolutely, but his movies are mainly just dumb action flicks and comedies. In fact, I really can't pinpoint a single movie Dwayne starred in where he feels like he's playing anything other than his WWE rock persona. He's the same character in every movie, which is totally fine. I respect Dwayne understanding his range as an actor, but 2025 could be different for him, thanks to A24 and Benny Safdie. This year is the debut of a new Dwayne Johnson character we haven't gotten the chance to see on screen. And maybe, just maybe, people will start taking him more seriously after this role. Dwayne's new film, The Smashing Machine, comes out later this year, likely with a third or fourth quarter release date. In the film, he portrays Mark Kerr, a former championship MMA fighter, whose life took a downward turn following a painkiller's addiction. To me, it's difficult imagining a story like this being anything short of an emotional roller coaster coming from A24. It sounds an awful lot like The Iron Claw, so now that Dwayne has finally ventured into something that isn't your stereotypical Dwayne Johnson feature film, such as Fast and Furious, Jumanji, or Skyscraper, I have a question. Do you think Dwayne Johnson could somehow, some way, receive an Oscar nomination for Best Actor for his performance as Mark Kerr at the 2026 Oscars? As crazy as that sounds, I truly don't think it's a long shot. I know what you're thinking. Sven, there's no chance an actor like Dwayne Johnson could earn an Oscar nomination. You're telling me the guy who just did Red One could be a contender for one of the Academy's biggest awards? The answer right now is yes. I do. Although it will certainly depend on a few things. First and foremost, Dwayne has gotta be great. For all we know, he could give a bad performance as Mark Kerr. After all, it's understandable why people would have little faith in Dwayne considering the type of films he's become known for. But if I were to put money on it, I think Dwayne will knock this performance out of the park. Reason number one being that Dwayne is already great at what he does acting-wise. I find it hard to believe the guy can't pull off an emotional performance. His voice acting in the first Moana provided a glimpse at what he's capable of from a thespian standpoint. Another reason is because Dwayne looks unrecognizable as Mark Kerr. And usually, that leads to more praise being given to an actor for their performance. Look at Bill Skarsgård in Nosferatu and Christian Bale in Vice, for instance. People love transformations. Lastly, I don't think A24 and Benny Safdie would agree to do this movie with Dwayne if they thought he couldn't deliver. So I'm confident Dwayne will showcase for the first time in his career that he can be great outside of comedy. I foresee him earning universal praise from both critics and audiences. Another factor worth considering for Dwayne's Oscar bid in 2026 is the competition he's up against. As of right now, we have no idea who else is in contention for next year's Best Actor award. If the field is loaded, Dwayne won't have as good of a chance. Nonetheless, if he's that good, I'm sure a lot of people will be upset if he gets snubbed. Furthermore, we have to wonder how good The Smashing Machine will be, because bad movies never get much consideration for nominations. But again, I do have reasons to believe it's going to be a standout film this year. My belief is that A24 won't miss on a project with Dwayne freaking Johnson. Plus, you have Emily Blunt as the co-star. She's proven herself after earning an Oscar nomination for her role in Oppenheimer. The real question mark here is Benny Safdie. This is his first time directing a big movie without his brother Josh alongside. I'm honestly not sure how good he can be by himself. Either way, I have faith, and think all of these elements will give us one of 2025's best films. Real quick, if you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and turn on all notifications for upcoming videos if you like what you've seen so far. Now, if you still aren't convinced of Dwayne Johnson's potential for a Best Actor nomination in 2026 because of Dwayne's stale on-screen character history, let me remind you of a few actors who broke away from comedic roles and earned universal praise for serious outings as an actor. I already brought up A24's The Iron Claw, which came out in 2023. In that movie, Zac Efron put on his best performance ever. I never once imagined Zac being that good, but he proved me wrong. Another actor who comes to mind is Adam Sandler. If you had seen Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore in the 90s, you probably had doubts about Sandler's ability to tug at your heartstrings, but he did so in Punch Drunk Love. And years later, he delivered one of his career best performances in Uncut Gems, a Safdie Brothers movie. Unfortunately, neither Efron or Sandler were nominated for Best Actor for these roles. But I think a majority of film buffs would agree Efron should have been nominated for The Iron Claw, and Sandler should have been nominated for Uncut Gems. Someone who I never thought could be nominated for an Oscar, though, is Brendan Fraser. But not only did he receive an Oscar nom, he ended up winning that same year for his performance in The Whale. This was a guy only known for The Mummy, George of the Jungle, and Furry Vengeance. If someone told me in the early 2010s that Brendan Fraser would eventually win Best Actor one day, I'd call you insane. So who's to say now that Dwayne Johnson couldn't earn a nomination for Best Actor in 2026? Sure, as mentioned, he's made a lot of stupid movies. Johnson basically just plays the same character in each one of them too. Regardless, he still has tons of talent. So I don't see why he couldn't receive his first ever Oscar nomination next year. But what do you think? Am I crazy saying Dwayne Johnson has a chance to receive his first ever Oscar nomination? Or like me, do you have plenty of belief in Dwayne's acting abilities? Let me know in the comments. Well, thanks to all of you who watched this whole video. Again, please consider subscribing to my channel, and if you enjoyed this, leave a like down below. I'll catch everyone in the next one. See you then.